So starting the test drive in the Sentra here, decent pickup, I think. And I don't know why the telescope on the steering wheel wasn't wanting to work earlier, but this does tilt and telescope. I was only being able to have it tilt for whatever reason. That is tough, but anyway, so driving down the road here. Ride quality's decent. This heated seat is very hot, so that's a good thing. But I mean, I like how this drives. It's very easy to get used to. It's very fuel efficient, and there's not a lot of crazy stuff going on. Even with it being an SR, it's mostly just for the looks. The SRs look so good, whether it's the kicks, the Sentra, the Ultimas, all the SRs are just really sporty trims. And this is a pretty good car for the money. I kind of was mistaken just in terms of seeing a lot of corners cut, but honestly, like, I thought they took the telescope out of the steering wheel, so that kind of made me mad. But now I'm like, okay, they didn't, so they're not that bad. Talking about Nissan. But overall, I mean, people like these because they're easy to drive. They're very simple. You just get behind the wheel and go get 40 miles a gallon. And then if you put it in a sport mode, it can actually get up pretty quickly. But when you're getting 40 miles per gallon, you're going to be doing that on the highway, and it's nice to have the intelligent cruise control for those longer journeys where you'll be getting that 40 miles per gallon. Now with this having the Xtronic CVT, I like the CVTs in the Sentras because you're not expecting to have a spirited drive. I don't want to say not fun, but you're not expecting to have a spirited drive in a Sentra. And even if you were to go up to like a VC Turbo Ultima, you're not expecting to have a overly spirited drive in the four-door Nissan cars. Now in the Murano, I want pickup. I want a traditional transmission. I want something that's relatively quick. So the new 25 Muranos, they really just did a good job going back to where they came from in terms of having a traditional automatic transmission and then just having a variable compression turbo four-cylinder that's quick and fun. And you can go through those different drive modes as well. But here, these are mostly commuter cars. People are trying to spend the least amount of money possible, but if you're going with the SR trim, you want something that still looks nice, and you'll pay a little bit more for that. And that's one of the reasons these sell so well. You're still under $30,000 MSRP, and you have something that kind of makes you smile when you get behind the wheel of it, knowing that it at least looks fantastic. Now me personally, I would go up to the SR Premium just to get the leatherette seats. I can't remember if they're full leather or leatherette, but those seats are so nice, especially with the brown there. A few other extras. But this SR to be right around 27 grand sticker, and again, you can probably get it cheaper than that now. Not a bad deal in my opinion. And people like to talk stuff about the CVT, but honestly, if you maintain your vehicle like you're supposed to, run it into the dealer or find another mechanic who knows how to maintain a Nissan with a CVT, you won't have any problems. I shouldn't jinx it. You shouldn't have any problems. Now I'm gonna put in a sport mode and let's see what this thing does getting up to speed. Here we go. So honestly, pretty impressive in terms of putting the power down. Again, for this kind of car, it's 2-liter naturally aspirated. What people don't realize is the CVTs where you don't have shift points, a lot of the times they're tuned correctly. And again, by that I mean being in the sport mode, you can get it going at least as good as a traditional automatic. Now, wind noise, it's windy outside, the sun's going down, it's literally freezing outside, so I'm not really tripping on the wind noise that's coming through right now. Ride quality's pretty good, even with these bigger wheels. But I want to give one more thank you to John Roberts Nissan for allowing me to review this Sentra today. I'll leave a link below in the description. And if you're looking to find the best price on something closer to home, click on that second link down below, and I'll make sure that the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But final thoughts on the Sentra. It's really hard to come across a 4-door sedan these days. You know, everybody's going with the SUVs. I do think that GM might have a lot of the competition beat, and that might be one of the issues that Nissan's having now is you can get a 4-door SUV, like a Chevy Trax or Ford Escape. You can get a base model one for close to the same money as a Sentra, you know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons that the Kicks has been doing so well, especially since that redesign. It's just a stunning vehicle. And I mean, the Sentra's still relevant because you get better gas mileage here. The engine doesn't feel as strained. But I mean, everybody's just going towards SUVs now, so it's hard to really say how much longer the Sentra will be relevant. As a commuter car, it's still solid, but again, if you can get close to the same amount of fuel economy from a small SUV that has a bigger trunk, a hatch, why not go with that? But to those of us that still love cars like myself, still a pretty good vehicle for 28 grand in 2025, and that's just my opinion. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Nissan Sentra SR.